Whoa, get that mess out of there. Okay.
Coming in at number 4 on my list is Star Fox Assault. Star Fox Assault is a combination third-person shooter and vehicle combat game for the Nintendo Gamecube developed by Namco and published by Nintendo. Assault returns the Star Fox series to its space combat roots after the previous game in the series, Star Fox Adventures, took a more action arcade approach. Assault takes place 1 year after the event of Star Fox Adventures and introduces a new enemy named the Aperoids, a race bent on the assimilation of the Lilat system into their collective mind. The gameplay of Star Fox Assault is divided into 3 distinctive types. The player can either fly an R-Wing, or drive a Landmaster, or perform certain tasks on foot. All 3 play types are available for multiplayer mode, although some levels on a multiplayer mode are specific. For example, Level 1, Fortuna, a new enemy, is specifically R-Wing. The game follows a completely linear track, unlike its predecessors Star Fox and Star Fox 64. R-Wing missions in Assault are similar to those of the first 2 games in the series. The player flies in space or close to the ground and shoots down enemies. Some levels are on rails, while others allow full freedom of movement in a relatively small area. As in previous games, the wingmates of Fox, the main character, occasionally call for help when chased by enemies. Additionally, in some levels, the player has the ability to hop in and out of the R-Wing at will. While in the Landmaster, the player has complete freedom to move about the level. They are free to shoot or run over enemies as well as assist their wingmates when necessary. Playing on foot essentially turns the game into a third-person shooter. The player starts armed with the blaster, a type of gun, and can acquire a variety of other weapons including, but not limited to, a machine gun and a homing launcher. In 2 shooting gallery levels, the player rides on the wing of an R-Wing or a Wolfen fighter, shooting enemies on the ground and in the air with a plasma cannon. Coming in at number 3 is one of my all-time favorite RPGs, Animal Crossing. Animal Crossing is a game in which the player lives his or her own life in a virtual village populated with anthropomorphic characters. The game takes place in real time, reflecting the current time of the day and season. A life simulation game, Animal Crossing players move into a village at the beginning of the game and live there indefinitely. They can socialize with other town residents and perform various activities such as fishing, bug catching, collecting items, and working for Tom Nook's shop to pay back their house loan, expand it, and furnish and decorate it. Time in the game is synchronized with that of the real world, using the system's clock. Animal Crossing is a must-have game for anyone who's a fan of those sort of sim-style games. I found this game incredibly hard to put down, and I spent hours trying to perfect my home within the game with wacky, fun, and practical furniture. You'll feel yourself actually developing a friendship with the neighbors in the town, and there's always something to do. Remembering all the hours I put into the game alone made it worthy of being in my top 3. However, coming in at second place on my list, Sonic Adventure 2 Battle. Sonic Adventure 2 Battle for the Gamecube was the Gamecube adaptation of Sonic Adventure 2 on the Sega Dreamcast. As a sequel to Sonic Adventure, the game introduces 2 new playable characters, Shadow the Hedgehog and Rouge the Bat. It's also one of the few Sonic games to officially feature Dr. Eggman as a playable character, and is the first game in which the latter character is wholly referred to as Eggman in the West, and Robotnik name was adopted rather in Japan for other related characters. Sonic Adventure 2 follows the same basic principles of the previous games in the series. Within the stages are rings, which will protect the player from dying so long as one is held by the player. The Tails and Dr. Eggman stages are an exception, in which the player has a health bar which is reloaded by gathering rings. Item capsules are also located within the stages, and when broken by the character they reward the player with one of a variety of bonuses. Each character has power-ups, referred to as level-up items, which grant them new abilities such as destroying metal boxes or playing mystical melodies. The single-player mode takes place between 2 parallel storylines, the hero story and the dark story. The player has the option of advancing in either one or at any other time. The hero story features Sonic, Knuckles, Tails, and the non-playable Amy, while the dark story features Shadow, Rouge, and Dr. Eggman. Each hero character plays similarly to their respective dark character and vice versa. Levels advance in order for each storyline, alternating between each of the playable characters. Levels featuring Sonic or Shadow are regular platformers, designed in much the same way as they were in Sonic's levels in Sonic Adventure, where the player's primary objective is to simply get to the end of the level. Levels with Tails or Dr. Eggman are based on shooting, allowing the player to control a mechanized robot walker and shoot their way to the end, reminiscent of Gamma stages in Sonic Adventure. The Knuckles and Rouge levels are based on hunting, with the characters scouring their levels for 3 items, usually shards of the Master Emerald, much like Knuckles' levels in Sonic Adventure. Interspersed between the levels are various bosses, which one particular character must fight. The main storyline can only be finished when both Hero and Dark story modes are finished, and an extra final story mode is revealed where the player must use all the characters to achieve the true ending. The game changed a large portion of raising Chow, the artificial life form available both in Sonic Adventure and Sonic Adventure 2. Finally, coming in at number 1 on my list, simply for the fact that, well, it was the reason I bought my GameCube originally in the first place, is Super Smash Bros. Melee. Like its predecessor, Super Smash Bros. Melee differs from traditional fighting games in that afflicting the most damage does not guarantee victory. Instead, opposing players must force their opponents beyond the boundaries of the stage, or themselves. Most attacks inflict damage and can, if the damage is dealt, knock back the enemy. Each character's health is measured by a meter that represents the damage received as a percentage. During battles, items related to Nintendo games or merchandise fall onto the game field. These items have purposes ranging from inflicting damage on the opponent to restoring health to the player. Additionally, most stages have a theme relating to a Nintendo franchise or a specific Nintendo game and are interactive to the player. Although the stages are rendered in 3 dimensions, players can only move on a 2-dimensional plane. Not all stages are available immediately. Some stages must be unlocked by achieving particular requirements. Super Smash Bros. Melee features 26 characters, 14 more than its predecessor. 15 are available initially, with the other characters requiring the completion of specific tasks to become available. Every character featured in the game derives from a popular Nintendo franchise. All characters have a symbol that appears behind their damage meter during a fight. This symbol represents what series they belong to, such as a Triforce symbol behind Link's damage meter and a Pokeball behind Pokemon species. Some characters represent popular franchises, while others were less known at the time of the release. Marth and Roy represent the Fire Emblem series, which had never been released outside of Japan at the time. These characters' appearance in Super Smash Bros. Melee led to a rise in popularity of other series. References are made throughout the game to the relationship between characters of the same universe. In one of the events from Event Mode, Mario must defeat his enemy Bowser to rescue Princess Peach, etc., etc. With great characters, must-play stages, fabulous music, and an incredible multiplayer system, this game made it a must-have to play with your friends. Super Smash Bros. Melee will sit at the pinnacle of Nintendo GameCube games for all history. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed my list of my personal top 10 favorite games for the Nintendo GameCube.